have 6 items I want to visit with you about this evening. The first of those is the Hafer Park Playground. This playground opened earlier this month, and it's been very busy since it did open. One of the more popular features here has been the synthetic turf that's used for the surface. It's the second park in Edmond that has a synthetic turf, the other one being Edmond 66 Park. We will also be upgrading the tot lot at Hafer Park in this coming year, in the next fiscal year as well. And that is adjacent to the Hafer Park Playground. Noah's Park and Playgrounds of Edmond was the contractor, and Themed Concepts was the manufacturer. Cost of this was $200,000, and the money comes from the park tax fund. The second item is the Barnett Field splash pad. This pad, of course, is located near Main and Kelly, and it is now open daily from 9 in the morning to 8 at night through September 16th. I want to thank our park staff for getting that facility opened almost a week ahead of schedule, just because of the good weather and everything. They were trying to move forward as quickly as they could. This is now the 5th year that we've had this park in operation, not the 5th full year, but the 5th year. I think it's the 3rd full year, and it's one of the more popular amenities that we have in our entire park system. We also have an allocation in the 5-year budget of $500,000 in the park tax fund for the construction of a second splash pad, so we're going to be moving with that. However, there's been no determination of where that splash pad will be located at this point. The third item is the City and Edmond Public Schools Tennis Partnership. June 19th is the date when the bids will be open for this facility. We've had a lot of interest in the project so far. A lot of firms have picked up sets of plans, so we're encouraged by that. Just as a reminder, the project will be constructed on about 20 acres near the northeast corner of 15th and Kelly. It will be a state-of-the-art facility, if you will, certainly the largest in the region. It'll have 10 indoor tennis courts, up to 24 outdoor courts. Also, we'll have a main building that will house the tennis professional, the merchandise and concession areas as well. The project's expected to be fully completed by sometime next summer. And just as another reminder, both the city and the Edmond Public Schools are contributing $7 million each to the project. The fourth item is the water tower construction at Danforth and Thomas. In fact, there is an item on your agenda tonight about the approval of a contract to build this tower. The recommendation is to award it to Landmark Structures. They're the low bidder, and they're also the company that built a very similar water tower, 2 million gallon water tower at Broadway and Coffee Creek. This tower will also be 2 million gallons. It'll be the 8th tower in our system, and the contract amount will be $4.7 million, which is considerably below what we thought we would be paying for that facility, so we're pleased with that. As a reminder, the project is part of a very comprehensive package of water and sewer improvements that will happen over the next 5+ years and will cost an estimated $400 million. The construction on this tower is expected to start in July and take about 16 months. The fifth item is the Thomas Drive Realignment Project. And this applies, you can see the yellow line there, this applies to the section of Thomas just north of the Danforth intersection. It will be realigned from its current location to the east side of the Edmond North High School parking lot, and also the location of the new water tower. The project will enhance better traffic safety and flow for both pedestrians or students and also vehicles as well. There'll be 3 lanes that will be constructed. The center lane will be a turn lane, and there'll also be a right turn lane into the school parking lot. June 13th is the bid opening for this project, and we anticipate a construction time frame of about 4 months. The engineer's estimate is $2.5 million, and the funding comes from the 2000 capital improvement sales tax. And the last item is sales and use taxes. This was our 11th check of the current fiscal year. Sales tax collections for the month were up over 6.6% above the same month last year. Cumulatively for the year now, we're 2.82% above last year, and of course, well above our 1% budget projection as well. We remain third in our 7-city comparison group for sales tax collections. We're behind Yukon and Oklahoma City, and we're ahead of Moore, Midwest City, Tulsa, and Norman. As Warren Porter, our finance director, predicted, use tax collections were down this month since it was May of a year ago when cities began receiving checks from Amazon in the state of Oklahoma, and that they had also paid 1.5 times the amount required to fund their, quote, estimated amount. Combined sales and use tax collections are up 8.23%, very healthy. Through the first 11 months, that is down only very slightly from 8.73 as a cumulative total at the end of last month. And as you saw in your material, Warren has also updated the NAICS, North American Industry Classification System charts for sales and use taxes, and they're included in his background information. On the sales tax side, natural gas distribution moved into that top 14 list, which is normal because of the seasonal change that occurs after the winter months collections are received. Sporting goods dropped out of the top 14 categories as well. No really big changes in use tax, but it is worth noting that the 3 medical categories included combined to account for over 18% of our total use tax collections for the year. So that's pretty impressive as well.